I'm getting ready to do this monster drink, and where I put up my phone to do the video is right on my window so that I get that great daylight coming in. Well, my neighbors have got some guys like doing something at their house directly across the street. This is going to be really weird, me trying to record with them possibly looking back at me. Just not feeling that. All right, let's get all set up here.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa.
In this video, I'm going to talk about Monster energy drink. Oh wait, this baby, this is actually my favorite kind. I have a red kind that I drink also, but I forgot the guy's name. The guy at the gym was the one who said, Sheila, you gotta try this kind. So now I'm hooked on this time. We're gonna talk about whether or not it is truly worth the hype. So this is my favorite. Yes, I have the red kind, and everything that I'm going to give you on the specifics of the nutritional data is going to be coming from this one. So there may be like a few slight differences in the red one, and maybe I'll check that at the end if I have time. In general, I got my list written down. We're gonna go through some advantages and disadvantages, and then at the very end, I'm going to talk about like the whole caffeine part of it. But let me jump on the advantages first. And I actually have my handy dandy list. Put on my school teacher glasses. All right, number one is it only has 10 calories in it. So if you're looking for an energy drink that's relatively low in calories, this might be the one for you. 10 calories not gonna kill you. I guess you could walk up and down your stairs a couple extra times over the course of the day. So not a big deal. Then we have a whole list of vitamins. Okay, wait, only 4 vitamins. Vitamin B3, B6, B12, and B5. So it's 250% for B3, 240% for B6, 490% for B12, and 400% for B5. What am I quoting though? This is based on a 2,000 calorie intake per. This is based on a 2,000 per day calorie intake. Let's talk about carbs. A lot of people are like, typically looking at the macros, the carbs, the fat, and the protein intake in grams. So how many carbs are in this thing? And to be honest, I had a little bit of trouble figuring this out up here because this is no sugars. And when you look at it, there are some carbs in here. So let's talk about carbs first. 6 grams of carbs in 1 can. And I did forget to say that, but 1 can is a serving size. So if for some reason you're only having half a can, then there you go, you can cut all these numbers in half. But yes, 1 can is a serving size, you're getting 6 grams of carbs. What about the protein? Zilp. What about the fat? Zilp. So sure, the 0 fat, good thing, I guess, if that's what you're going for. Just don't forget that we need fat for vitamins A, D, E, and K. Protein, so who's thinking protein's going to be in a drink anyway, right? Unless it's like maybe some sort of soy drink. But no, energy drinks, you're generally not gonna see that. So there you go with the macros. Let's talk about the disadvantages, okay? First, I guess I had not thought about this, but there's way more sodium in this than I anticipated. There are actually 370 milligrams of sodium in this, and I guess for some reason it was not something I ever thought about. Like I knew about some other things, but this was not one of those things, and I don't do a very good job of checking my sodium intake. I need to do a better job of that because I do tend to eat like sandwiches with turkey or something, with turkey or something like that. Or I eat a lot of frozen products sometimes, and all that stuff has a lot of sodium in it. And so in my head, I'm already thinking that's a lot of sodium. I didn't realize this drink had sodium in it like that. I mean, it's not 1,000 milligrams, but still 300 plus, that's still kind of up there. Okay, number 2, the other thing is, and you know this, this is not lemonade or tea or anything like, or Kool-Aid or anything like that. It's a carbonated drink. And one of the things that can happen with a lot of carbonation is it can give you a lot of buildup of gas in your stomach and in your intestines, and just be one of those things that can be nerve-wracking. So first of all, it can result in a lot of bloating, and so you can constantly feel like, oh my God, I've just got all this pressure down here, and it's not a good feeling. So you might have a lot of energy and be fully awake, but then you're walking around feeling like your belly is swollen, and you're trying to put on your clothes and be comfortable or sit down or maybe even exercise, and you're just like, ugh. The other side of that is too, you know, you've got the bloating, but then you're like, okay, well, how am I going to get rid of the gas and get rid of the bloating? Yeah, so that can be a really big issue. That is the piece that I absolutely hate, and I haven't quite figured out how to get around that. Typically though, I will not drink a whole lot at one time, and that has helped minimize the bloating a little bit and sort of the gassiness of it, but it doesn't take it fully away. So be mindful, you know, these are carbonated drinks most of the time, and they may leave you just feeling in a not good kind of way. Number 3, the other thing is they do tend to have some artificial flavors in them. Now, we aren't typically thinking of these energy drinks as being of high nutritional value. They can. I did list the vitamins that were in this. You know, the sodium's kind of iffy. You don't have to worry about a lot of sugar with this, or a lot of calories. But, you know, if you're trying to have a cleaner sort of diet and stay away from artificial flavorings and artificial sugars and things of that nature, then this is probably one of those things you're going to want to take a look at the ingredient list and be mindful of some of the things that say artificial something else, because it's there. Finally, okay, so this is the big piece about energy drinks, and it's the caffeine. I'm gonna put my notebook down for this because I wanna have an honest one-on-one conversation with you about this. I am not a soda drinker. I've never been a big soda drinker, and they tend to be very sweet to me, like overly sweet. And then there's the carbonation and the calories. And so if you're adding all of those things up, you get a good idea of why I'm not the person who's drinking that. And it's not just from a healthy and sort of fitness and wellness standpoint, it's just too much. Like, I don't want all those calories, and I certainly don't want that carbonation, but the taste of it sometimes can be really, really strong and really, really sweet. So I just don't really crave that or even desire it a whole lot. If I do have to have one, I usually have something like a ginger ale or a Sprite or a Sierra Mist. So I tend to shy away from the darker colas and go with something that's a little lighter and more refreshing. And actually, I do tend to lean toward having a ginger ale if I'm going to do that, because I won't even drink the whole thing. That carbonation just sort of, yeah, it'll stop me in my tracks sometimes. Now, about the caffeine part of this, one of the things that I notice is, yes, you do get that sort of increased energy with the drink. However, your body can start to become more accustomed to whatever the amount of caffeine is that you're getting. In this case, it's 140 milligrams per can. Okay, so if you're drinking the whole can, that's how much you can anticipate getting. Well, over time, your body can get used to that. It can grow accustomed to that. And you may find that you need a little bit more to actually get the increased feeling of energy that you used to have, okay? Same thing that goes on when people become addicted to drugs. You sort of need more of it or a higher level of it in order to get that same high. This is the same sort of concept here. one of the things I've noticed is that I am so tired sometimes because I'm doing so much. I'm staying up so late. My daughter got in really late last night. I'm staying up so late that the Monster drink doesn't even impact that sometimes. So I can have a Monster drink and I may have finished it off at 8 p.m., 8:30, and 10 o'clock I'm knocked out or I'm struggling to stay awake. So sometimes I'm really so tired that even that amount of caffeine doesn't impact where I am because I need the rest so badly. So that's sort of, one of the things that's going on with me and can happen with you. The other thing is that because I have them so often, when I don't have them, I'll get headaches. So that is not a good thing. So it's sort of, your body has become used to the caffeine. It is craving that caffeine, that level that it's used to having in your system. And now you're not giving it to it. And yeah, so you're experiencing, as a result, those are essentially withdrawal side effects starting to take hold. And I recognize that too. And that also is not a good thing. So I'm trying to find a way to better handle all of this. In other words, number one, I just need to do a better job of getting rest and getting my schedule managed in such a way that I'm not staying up so late. I don't want to say I'm not getting up so early because I'm just an early bird. I'm going to get up early anyway. It's just that at maybe around 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm going to need a nap. But most of the time, that's when I pick up the Monster drink to keep me going and to get me over that hump. So I need to just do a better job of working on my lifestyle and changing my lifestyle so that I don't really have to go down this sort of dependency on an energy drink route in order to be able to make it through the day. Is it worth the hype? I mean, like I said, if you're looking for a pick-me-up, it's definitely going to do that for you. There are some disadvantages, there's still the sodium that's in it, there's the carbonation, there's this sort of dependency that your body can develop on it when you start to drink it over a long period of time. And you may need higher amounts of it in order to get the same impact or results. So I'm gonna work on that. And if you're trying to figure out whether or not, this is the thing for you, once and again, it may be or it may be not. It's just something to think about and to keep in mind. And right now I'm so distracted because I've got the plumbing crew going on over here. My neighbor is walking through over here. Hey Claire, I should just wave. He's now running. I saw his wife earlier, you see everybody in the neighborhood when you're out running and walking. But that's it. I hope you got a few things out of this video. Don't forget to like the video. Go ahead and subscribe so you can keep up with everything that's going on and that you don't miss a thing. Peace. I think I'm getting better at my outros, to be honest.
That money clip was not enough.